I know that I gave you that link that you filled out for me, and I appreciate that feedback. We found out that we've got 4 Apple users, so we've got some familiarity with Apple, and we've got 1 Android user. So we've got somebody that's familiar with that. Well, that's good. Well, today we're going to compare and contrast. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to explore basic mobile device operating systems and the 2 most popular. In front of you, what I'd like you to do is write your name and today's date, which is December 8th, 2014. I'd also like you to briefly write in what your expectation is. Obviously, we've gone over and you were made aware that today was going to be about mobile devices, and we were going to explore those 2 operating systems. Alright, excellent. Do I have a volunteer that'd like to share out their expectation? Sure, Julie.
I said to learn 2 advantages of using a Droid over an iPhone.
Excellent. Excellent. Anybody else like to share?
Hopefully I know more about my phone than I did before.
Good. That was the point of this. Remember, we are a technology school, so part of this is that all of our staff has a little bit of information, so when your students come in, this should be able to help you. First thing we need to know, and you'll see, now we're going to move on to the second part where you'll see the little green man. Does anybody know what the green man stands for?
The droid.
There we go, droid. And on the far right you'll see a blue apple, and in the center you'll see an apple and an Android. Basically, we're all familiar with these types of graphic organizers. It's a modified Venn diagram where on the left it means exclusively Android. On the right, exclusively Apple. And things in the middle, as we cover, are going to be similar in both operating systems. So, you'll see we also have a word bank. Everything that's in your word bank will be in one of those 3 columns by the conclusion of the lesson. So let's start with just right off in the front of open source versus closed source. Does anybody have an idea what that means? Good, good. It's about starting from the basics, right? Open source means that anyone can have the information. It's free. Like closed source would be like proprietary or copyrighted. So I can't just make a laptop exactly like a Macintosh and then start selling it and call it the Kahler. Right? Closed source means it's proprietary, I own it, you can't touch this. Open source means, here, take it, have what you will. Does anybody have an idea where those 2, where open source would fall as and closed source in this particular Venn diagram? Julie?
Apple would have to be closed.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Because you can't go in and modify the operating system of an Apple. And it's one company. And how many companies have Droid operating systems?
Lots.
Couldn't even tell you, but I can tell you right here in the front, we've got a Cisco desktop experience. And that features an Android operating system. So that's Cisco. So Android isn't proprietary to one company. You could have a Samsung, you could have several different companies using the same operating system, and it's shared. Alright, so open source, we know where that goes. That goes into what column, Pam?
Apple.
I'm sorry?
Android.
Android, that's correct. And closed source goes, as Julie mentioned, into Apple. Now, how many people, does anybody know what push versus pull means as far as data?
I can make a stab at it. When you have your push settings on, it's automatically just sending it to your phone versus you having to pull it, ask for it.
She is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So you can set up your phone and your mobile device to either automatically receive it. So when it's automatic, it's going to be pushed to you. But when you want to set it up to where you get it, that's a pull setting. So we've got Android and Apple users in here. Which one has push? Can you push notifications on your iPhone?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about the Droid? Can you push notifications on the Droid?
I don't think so. I don't know.
The answer is you can.
Good question, you can.
Yep, you can set it up so that your apps automatically update. That would be push. Do you receive your email automatically? It just pops into your mailbox?
Yes.
That's being pushed. You don't have to go to your email and pull down on it. I personally have pull versus push in my email. I don't want it searching for data in this closed building.
So if you have one, you for sure have the other.
Yes. Yes. So where do you think that would go, Julie, based on that?
So you can control that on your phone?
You can.
Mhm.
You can. I don't use push because this building with the cinder blocks, I'm constantly searching for data. It was killing my battery because I kept searching for emails and the data source would make it lag. I turn on pull only, and then on the weekends I make it push.
So push is automatic and pull is you have your edit.
Yep. All right, and that column is
In the middle.
in the middle. Great, great job, everybody. Now, where do we get our apps from? Android?
Anywhere.
Yeah, a ton of places. Google Play is the most popular. Amazon, Androids, One Mobile. There are several different places to get your apps through Android because there's several different manufacturers that use that operating system. For Apple, does anybody know where you get your...
The App Store.
Yeah,
App
Store.
Store.
The App Store.
iTunes really will.
Yep.
Theirs.
Yep, and that's all proprietary in there. So, there's one other way to get your apps. You can go on your desktop computer, you can go to a website and download an app, then plug your phone into your computer and throw the app in there. You can avoid the App Store, and you can avoid Google Play. So that's a process called side loading. So that's in the middle. I'll just let you know that. You can do that on both. Now, but what is the danger of side loading an app? Viruses. Exactly. You're not sure exactly where you're getting that information from, and that could be very dangerous.
So when I hear students talk about that they kind of bypass iTunes to get music for their iPhones, is that what they're doing?
That is, they're side loading, and it's a process called jailbreaking,
Yeah.
which is not illegal. However, it is not recommended. There could be legal issues when you do jailbreak an iPhone. However, there is no current law federally or in the state of Maryland to make that illegal.
We're just losing probably Apple support.
You lose all Apple support. You totally make your mobile devices subject to all kinds of viruses. Apple's iOS, its operating system, is one of the safest operating systems that is available. But when you jailbreak it, you've lost that safety and that security blanket.
Okay.
All right. Now, we're going to do a couple things that are specific to the Android. The first one is navigation icons. Now, something interesting if you look at the Cisco desktop experience, the navigation icons in our online module show that the navigation icons are on the left. Yet on the Cisco desktop experience, they're in the center. Right? That is a good example right away of being open source. And that one picture of how you use Android could look one way, and another it would look different. And those navigation icons basically just let you go back, go home, or open up to show you recently used apps on the left. It's a very nice system. So navigation icons specifically and exclusively for Android, so we know what side to put that on. Our next, since Android partners with Google, is there is a Google search button directly on the corner, where you can immediately go in to Google websites such as, say for example, Cat South. Also, there are special enhancements. Special enhancements means modifications again. We're really getting into that concept that Android is open source. It can be modified, it can be tailored, it can be customized. So the manufacturers that have devices that use it are able to have an incredible amount of flexibility in how they present their product.
And all this is Android, the Google search and special enhancements is just Google? I mean, just...
Yes, it absolutely is. As well as the notification icons. And down here in the corner is our system icons, where it's just going to tell you basically what time it is, and that is where you can go into settings. So the notification icons and system icons allow you to see when you get an email. There'll be a little Gmail. Yes.
So is that for both then? Like when you get a little number on your iPhone next to when you get an email or when you get a, is that considered both then?
Well, kind of, only. So, where I would say to that is notifications are definitely in both, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when notification icons are specific to Android, whereas a notification center
Is that?
is in Apple. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. But, and do you know how to get to your notification center, Julie?
My general settings?
There, and you can also just slide down on your screen. The
Oh, yeah.
notification center will drop down for you. All right, boom. And the process of using Android, its exclusive patent is touch flow. That allows you to flow page to page. All right. Widgets. Widgets are something that you are familiar with from everywhere. And that's available both here. Oh, well, I guess I should ask. Widgets are basically when you can put up a special feature, like, for example, you could show some of your favorite places to go, favorite phone numbers, or call history. When you create these widgets, they're available both in Windows 7 and Android. So that's a feature that's exclusive to Android. Let's see, what's next? Folders. You can also put your icons together. Now that's a good question. When you can combine your icons to create folders, that is both.
Yes.
That is both. We can do that on both operating systems. There we go. Now, getting into iOS. All apps icon, there we go. Home button. The home button is that center home button that's right at the bottom of your iPad or your iPhone. What happens if we tap it once?
It takes you back to the main screen.
Main screen takes you home. Takes you home. What happens if we tap it twice?
Shows you which apps are open.
Yeah.
That's right. It'll show you a little. It'll show you the multitasking bar. And then if we hold it down,
Siri.
that's right. Siri comes out to say hello. And once again, when you can respond to that alert by touching it, and that'll bring it up, and the notifications there are in the notification center. So Julie, I agree with you. You might want to set it up to where you say notification icons is Android, but having notifications on your desktop would be both, and the notification center, where you really get into them, would be more over on the Apple side. Apps, multitasking.
Apps are both.
Apps are both, absolutely. And the multitasking bar is really both,
Yeah.
right? You can kind of see that in both Android and Apple.
Is home both or just home Apple?
Well, there is a home button. Yeah, there's a home plate right here, but it's going to look different. It looks like a baseball home plate. versus that circle.
So home is both, is not,
Yeah, having a home button is both.
well, home and home plate.
Finally, the big one to go over is really how you interface with your mobile device in order for it to understand where you are. That's a little complicated. An accelerometer. How many people are familiar with that? Not, yeah. An accelerometer is the device inside your phone that lets it change from landscape to portrait. When you move your phone, the screen shifts. That's an accelerometer. Is that in both Droid and Apple?
It's a drawing.
It's in
Yeah,
Droid.
and both.
And it's an Apple. There we go. So they both use an accelerometer to shift the screen. The next one.
I have a question about the accelerometer. Is that the same thing that if you're dialing and then you pick it up to put it to your head and the screen will go black? Is that using the accelerometer?
It is.
So you
It's
don't
within
mess
the
it
app.
up?
Within the app.
Okay.
Yes, it's using the accelerometer to make that move. The next is a gyroscope. Now the gyroscope lets you have that ability to rotate it. Have you ever, when you're playing an app or a game and you can roll, and that uses gravity to show what part of your phone is up and down or forward. So the gyroscope uses gravity to let the operating system know how exactly what angle you're holding your phone on versus left, right, but this actually gives you gravity.
Does Droid have that? I've never played those
Absolutely.
games.
Absolutely. Droid will have a, bike game, a racing game. And finally, the barometer. Barometer is used in GPS to show altitude.
Okay.
Barometer is not weather. And is GPS, is that available? And geo-tracking, is that available in both?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's the main point. So far, the information that we've gone over, would you say that our expectations, kind of what you were looking for from this module, have been accomplished?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we did get to see some others. All right, well, there we go. All right, now if you can go to mobile devices and click on that on our website, it's going to take you to today's quiz.
Mobile devices.
Yep, right at the top.
Oh, I was looking on the sides too.
There we go.
Why isn't it opening?
I did it. Done.
Well, if you can just write down whether or not your expectations were met as your final conclusion, how were your expectations met or not met by this module?
Oh, Howard, shoot.
Use of open-ended questions in data collection.
Alright, what are we doing? Doing a survey?
No, that would be it.
Wait, well, I did the quiz and then it,
No, that's perfect.
oh, okay.
That's perfect. We're just waiting to finish that up. We've got 3 responses in. And then once our responses are in, just fill out the bottom of that form and let me know whether your expectations were met or not by this online module.
So that's what I was asking.
I didn't turn this in, it's really sloppy.
Do you want us to hand these to you?
Now I'm going to go over something really quick with you.
How do we know our score?
As soon as we're ready, I'm going to let you know. All right.
My dad has.
Now, if we take a look up at the front screen, our goal today, my goal as an instructor for this module, was to have 80% of us, so at least 4 out of 5, score 80% or better, meaning proficient in this module. The device, the first question, blank source software allows anyone to contribute. Give yourself a hand, ladies and gentlemen. We were 5 for 5. It was 100% on that question. On the next question, this kind of source code is not released and cannot be edited. And we were once again 5 for 5.
You're so smart.
There are 2 main methods for installing content on mobile devices, both pushing and pulling, and both Android and Apple have that technology. Great job, everybody. Question 4, Apple uses which site to source content? We were once again 5 for 5. On our question, big enthusiasm. The blank is a built-in electronic component that measures tilt and motion, and we were 5 for 5 with gyroscope. Excellent job. All right. So, at the end of the day, we were able to learn that. So everybody's satisfied. They were able to see some advantages, disadvantages, as well as see the differences in the Android. Excellent. Well, I thank everybody and appreciate everybody, and I'll collect that.